Hi and welcome to Knit All the Things. My name is Lauryl. I'm also known as West Maven on Instagram, Ravelry, and here. If you're new, this is a space where I talk about all the things I'm knitting, all the things I want to knit, all things yarn, just all the things. And if you're returning, welcome back, knitting bestie. I can't wait to catch up with you. In this week's episode, I'm so excited to share with you the latest issue of Laine Magazine. And I cannot wait to share my kind of thoughts and feelings around some of the patterns, as well as what I might do differently or how I would make it unique to my own knits, as well as some modifications and yarn ideas that I have. I'm also very excited to share with you some knitted accessories that I have been working on, as well as continue along the knitted bra conversation if you were here last week. And if you stick around to the very end, I have some exciting yarn to share with you, I guess. I came across a hidden gem, and whether or not you are local or you are worldwide, it can be shipped to you. So I'm very excited to share that with you as well, and not sponsored, just so excited. Like, very well-priced yarn, and I think sometimes that's hard to find. So grab your knitting, get cozy, and let's go. Okay, so let's quickly talk about what I'm wearing. I've worn this a few times. This is my White Mountains Light. It is a pattern by Midori Hirose, and I held 2 strands of Knitting for Olive mohair together. And today I have decided to wear it belted because it is oversized. Let me there we go. Sitting kind of doesn't help. There's like the whole double belt trend I was going for here today. I don't know, what do you guys think? Horrible? Not your favorite? It's okay if it's not. But it's kind of fun and a different way to wear this sweater. It's not so warm here in Portland right now. We had like fake spring and now it's back to a little chilly and rainy. So I'm embracing that and pulling this out one last time probably for the season. It is a top-down sweater. It is a compound raglan, and I knit a size like 5, which I don't have the exact measurements, but it gave me the same positive ease as the model. So if you look at Midori's pictures and how much ease, it was quite a bit of ease. So I did that size. I will say when I knit this, I totally messed up and had to rip back because of the compound raglan. I don't think when I first started, I actually paid attention to that. So I realized I had like too many sleeve stitches or something. So I ended up ripping back and redoing the yoke at some point, but I really like it. It's a really nice sweater. I feel like it's light enough where I don't get too hot, and it's such a basic black color that I can really wear it all the time. Today I'm just wearing leggings, but I often wear it with denim, and I just thought a couple of belts might make it a little different looking. Throw something different out there. Sometimes I have a hard time deciding how I want to wear my knits, so I thought I would share that with you. As far as knits, you guys, I've been like a busy little bee with like the most random projects, but bear with me. Last week I shared with you my cozy Slouchy socks, and I finished the second one, and I used Ching Fiber Nest in her classic sock. I did find the ball band. It was like in the bottom of my purse or some like weird. I was cleaning out my purse and realized that it had been stuck in there. But I really love this color. It is like a rust and a cream and a navy speckle. And then I paired it with Ken Yarn's mohair in the colorway Baby Boy. Unfortunately, this isn't available anymore, but it's kind of, I keep using this mohair. It's like such a beautiful blue, and I will try, if you sign up for my newsletter, I send out show notes when I publish the episodes, so you have like the patterns that I reference and yarn and all of that. So I will try to add some additional ones that I found that are kind of close in color, but it's just a brilliant royal blue. And I did 3 scrunch sections. You can do many different amounts of scrunches, I guess. So this is more of like a shorter sock. I knit this one as well. It's gonna be hard to see. Maybe I'll take one of these off. Knit this one in La Bien-Aimé's Kumo and Teal Torch Knits sock yarn. It's kind of, I think this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 7 like scrunch sections. And then I have one other one I grabbed, and this one is 6 scrunch sections to give you kind of a little idea. And this one is Ritual Dyes. I believe the colorway is like Hyacinth maybe. I really love this blue. It's so pretty. It has like navy blue, almost like a periwinkle, and then a like green speckle. And then this is their Fey base, and I don't remember the colorway, but again, if you sign up for that newsletter, I'll send all that information out to you. So that is my Cozy Slouchy sock. I have made a ton of them. I think they make really fun gifts. They're like just cozy to wear around the house. And yeah, so that was my like finished knits for this week. I also don't know if you guys remember, I had been talking about bralettes, and specifically the Nurture Bralette. This is a pattern by Celine Feyten, and I don't think I had started it. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I had cast it on at all last week. I think I only did swatches. So I swatched in the Madeline Tosh Lunar yarn, which is a remake of her original yarn suggestion from the pattern for Shibori Knits Lunar. They now produce the same yarn. But I also ended up swatching for Woolfolk, I believe it was Tend. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do at the time. I decided to move forward with the original yarn suggested. It is, I believe, I want to say it's like 50-50 marine, an extra fine merino and a silk, but it is a woolen silk blend. And I have been just cruising along. Right now, I'm at a point in the pattern where I believe I have a few more rows, and then I'm going to start the band of the bra. And because of that, I need to find a smaller needle, and I did end up going up to a size, I think US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter, and the pattern originally suggested a 3 millimeter, but I wasn't getting gauge with that. So I am getting gauge. This is really crammed on a tiny needle because that's just what I have at the moment. And I have to see if I can find a smaller, like a 2.5 or 2 to do the ribbing for the rest of it. But I will, now let's talk about how the pattern is done. So how you initially cast on is you cast on stitches here and you knit your band. And this band is not, it looks like it, but it's not an I-cord band. It actually is a beautiful, I wish the camera would show this, but I just don't think it's going to like give you the idea, but it lays so flat. It's such a nice design. So that was impressive right away. So you cast that on, you knit however many stitches, and then you start your increases for the back of the bra. And then you do the same thing basically, I think, for the other side. Do your increases and then you connect them together. You work on the back a while. And then you switch to the front, and you start with a provisional, cast on, so you pick up stitches there, and then you start increases for the front of the bra. So she gives so many modifications, so much information. If you are like, Lauryl, I would never in my life knit a bra, cool, don't do it. But the nice thing about this is it also could be a camisole or a tank top. So if that is something you do like, I do think this would be such a wonderfully fitted garment. There is so many modifications, like I said, to make it fit you correctly. You do several measurements, one of which is you go from the apex of your breast to where your band would sit, and that gives you a really nice, like you do short rows based on that, and it really gives a nice fit. I did try it on once, but not since I've finished both sides. So I am very curious to see how this will fit. But when I did try it on, it seemed like everything was going perfectly. I was very concerned about it fitting because I'm not too familiar with knitting close fitting garments. So far, this is great. Oh, and I forgot. So after you do your increases on the back, you actually do an I-cord, and then you pick up stitches along the I-cord. So just everything about this bralette is so finished and so beautifully done. Like, even just everything about it is so pretty. I really cannot say enough nice things about just the finishing of this garment. I feel like Celine does such a good job with her patterns and just like these nice finishing touches if you look at her other patterns. Again, like, if this is not for you, totally, I get it. I don't even know if it's for me, but I was so curious, and one of you guys had mentioned it, and I had mentioned the pattern, that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like start exploring. So a little bit later, I have another yarn suggestion for this, so stay tuned if you are interested in this pattern that is for a non-wool. So I'm really enjoying this. Like I said, I stayed up last night doing the cups basically of this, all the short rows for that. And I'm really excited to find a needle so I can finish it up. But I am very, very happy with how it's turning out and just so impressed with all of the little details that went into this garment. I really highly recommend it. I will say, from a understanding perspective on the pattern itself, it feels overwhelming when you look at it. There are so many pages and so much information that it can feel overwhelming. What I suggest doing is going through and highlighting for your size all of the instructions just so that you don't miss anything and that you're really clear on what you need to be doing next. That helped me a ton and didn't take that much time and has helped me. Like, there was something that I was gonna do that I was totally gonna skip like an instruction, and because I had it highlighted, it caught my eye and I was able to like not make that mistake. So I am taking my time with this one. I think it could have already been done by now, but I also haven't been like dragging it around with me to knit because I do feel like I do need a little bit of attention on it, at least until I get to the band. And I don't really feel like knitting this at like my kids' practices. So I don't think it's going to travel so much with me, but it's a great evening project and I am getting very close to finishing it. I really, really love it a lot. The yarn is so nice to knit with. The Madeline Tosh Lunar, I want to say, so I'm knitting a size 3 and I have I'm coming to the end of my first skein. Most sizes, I think the first 2 sizes only use 1 skein, and most sizes for the bralette use 2. So it's not a ton of yarn. It isn't the least expensive yarn on the market, but it certainly is well valued. I think it's such a nice yarn, and it's nice to be able to use maybe a fancier yarn for something special like this and special for yourself, because maybe it's just something that you wear under your shirts, and or maybe it's something that's like a nice sleeping camisole or something. So wanted to share that with you. It's not totally done yet, but I am really enjoying knitting it, like more than I thought I was going to. The next thing that I cast on would be this, which I haven't done much to it because I feel like I might have to start over because I'm getting some gaps. But I don't know if you guys can remember, I knit a Kirby, which is like a little video game character, for my youngest, and my oldest birthday is coming up very soon, and so I was going to work on his. I went to do them a little bit differently, but I think I'm actually gonna just default back to the original one I made. I haven't used a pattern. I just kind of am making up as I go, which I should have written something down because I don't remember what I did. Like I know that I made the first one flatter on the bottom so that when I attached the feet and everything, it would like sit nicer, and then just made it like really rounded, but I don't really remember how I did that. So I'm kind of playing it by ear a little bit, but it'll be fine. And then I finally, you guys, it's only taken 10 years, just kidding. But it really did take me a long time to cast this on. I finally cast on the Antique Filigree. This is a pattern by Rachel Illsley, and let me see if I can find them. Whoop. Here we go. Antique Filigree. It is a top-down sweater with color work, and she does hers in 2 color work, but I am using 3 to 4 colors. I haven't decided exactly what yet, other than I did cast it on. I am using, for the main color, Diamond Lane Shed, fingering It's a 60% merino, 40% Romney, and it's 400 yards per 100 grams. And this is the colorway Martin. And that's all I've gotten. So I decided with this one, you're supposed to start with the neckband, cast it on, do your ribbing, and then start the sweater. I've done this with her last sweater that I made, and I like it a lot, so I just decided I would do the same thing. I skipped that and just cast on the amount of stitches just below the ribbing, and then continued on because I think I'm gonna pick up and knit that later, hopefully. It'll be fine. But I feel like it gives a little bit more structure to your neckband, and so that's just what I'm gonna do. Other than that, I also wanted to like hurry and get to the color work, which I really just barely, like I just started the first row of color work. I did, like I said, the cast on, and then I did all the short rows, and then I just started the color work, and that's as far as I got. So I don't have much to share with you other than it's finally like in motion. I'm very excited to like really jump into this color work. It's so pretty. It even has like a center. Like I don't think I've ever done color work like this where it actually has like a little center detail, as you can see. So I'm really excited for this. I think it'll be a lot of fun to knit. I love my other Rachel Illsley. She's also known as Unwind Knitwear. I love the sweater I made by her. And so I'm very excited to get this on the needles. My goal, because it is a wool sweater, that I will just have it done by autumn. And so I'm not really in a rush. I'm not rushing through this one. I think once I get the color work done, there's not a ton of like sweater left for the stockinette. So this is going to just probably take place of my bralette time because I do have to look at a chart and kind of pay attention a little bit. I do plan on using ladderback jacquard. If you are not familiar, it is a way of catching your floats for color work so that it lays really nicely. It is a technique I absolutely love. If you have a long portion of like a long float, rather than just letting it hang out, especially I feel like it could get caught on things pretty easily. Instead of having that happen, you actually catch it with color you're not using. So it's, no, I said that wrong. Sorry. You have basically an invisible stitch behind your stitches that you eventually cast off. But it creates this nice mesh of fabric behind your sweater so that your floats are not just like hanging out and can't be like messed with. I feel like it also gives your color work a very nice like flat, beautiful, no like puckering. So I highly recommend it. It's a very easy technique. I know that Rachel, I actually want to say, so I did ladderback jacquard before I knit the last sweater that she did, but I watched her tutorial and her tutorial is extremely simple. I will also say she does some really unique things that I know other people do, but it's something that I've noticed in her designs. Like it's something that stands out that she does. So she does a ladderback jacquard. Her tutorial, like I said, is great. I will even link it below this video because I think that if you are interested, it's an easy way to do it. There are other ways, but hers is very simple and I highly recommend. The second thing that I noticed that she does that I don't see in all designers, right, is that she likes right leaning and left leaning increases, which are very invisible. And so if you have not knit with a right leaning or left leaning increase, I highly recommend. And she has tutorials for that as well, but I really like the finished look. So she just has these little details. I've noticed lately in my knitting that I really appreciate just the extra little details or extra steps. Sometimes I think that makes a garment just really look like so good, and they're just these simple little things. So I'm really excited to get to work on this sweater more. Hopefully next podcast I will have a little bit more to talk about with the sweater, but right now I'm using Martin as the main color, and then I have, which I never can remember the name, so you guys are just gonna have to look. Oh my goodness, I'm just throwing things on the floor. I don't remember the names, so we're not even gonna pretend that I know them. But basically these are my, oh my gosh, you guys, what is happening? I can't keep things in my hands. Okay, these are the Spin Cycle colors, and I also have I don't know if I'm going to use this one or not. So this is like a navy blue. They're, I think, mostly nocturne except for this one. I know this is Vesuvius Plum. This is Witching Hour. I don't remember what this one is. This one's like Throwback or Breakdown or I don't know, something like that. And this one is Mizuzu, which is like my favorite spin cycle color. It also is like not spin cycle-y, which is, I guess, a weird thing to say, but instead of it being like this one, it's like plum and green and like a gray. This one's like one color. It's just different shades of mauve, and I really like that a lot. So I don't know. I've made a few things with this color. I've noticed like lately I'm like, oh, I like this. I'm just gonna reuse it, which does tell me I should be more careful about some of my purchases because I'm not really doing a great job of picking lots of different colors out of like outside the box for me, which I think is fine. I think once you find your color palette that you really love, then like stick with it. It's great. I will show this because I just noticed it, and I don't know if I've shown this on the podcast yet or not. This is by the creativity department, the Gray Muse, and I will link this below. This is not sponsored or affiliated in any way, but I thought you guys might like it. So this is a color fidget like keychain. It also comes in like a pin, but I don't really use pins, so I don't typically buy them. But the cool thing about this is that you can create various color palettes using it. Like depending on how you turn it, it'll have different suggestions. And I think sometimes when we are trying to pick colors, it is nice to have a different tools. So this is a really kind of, I keep it on one of my knitting bags, and if I'm needing some inspiration, can pull it out. I do really like this one because it not only shows like yellow, right? It shows different tones of yellow, which I find to be really helpful. So I thought I would mention that because it is a kind of fun, it's a fun tool. If you have a friend that knits or paints or crochets or whatever crafty thing they do, I think it would be a good gift. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, let's see. You guys, I have like so many things I'm so excited to share with you that I'm like, oh, what should I pick next? Okay. So let's talk about Laine Magazine. This is issue 25. And it is the summer 2025 issue. Couple of things. I was hesitant to purchase this one because I loved the spring issue so much. If you did not see that episode, I will link it below. I really love the spring issue, and I think they did a really good job in the spring issue of doing a lot of like transitional warm weather items. This one, I would say same, but I just have a different, it took me a minute to warm up to this issue, if I'm being totally honest. But I did find some patterns that I really do like, and I want to share those with you. So this is, okay, so I'm going to try and pronounce this name, and I'm hoping that I don't screw it up. But the cover picture and the cover sweater is by Imke von Nathasius. Like I said, I don't think I said that right, but I'm trying. Imke von Nathasius, the glow sweater. It is really pretty. It has this nice texture on the front and partially down the sleeves. I really think, especially on the sleeves, it's really pretty. It also has like this nice little like shoulder detail in the back. So I do like it. Things I might do slightly differently because this is just how I operate. I would consider, there are baubles on this sweater, and if you've been here for a little while, you may know that I'm not a huge fan of baubles. Like, even I think it looks nice on this sweater, I would definitely not do them. I also would consider whether or not I wanted to do lace on the front and the back. This is a drop shoulder, I believe, sweater. And so you could forego the back having this same design if you wanted to maybe make it a little faster to knit. Is that bad? I don't know if it's bad or not. And then if I did forego the back, I would consider, I actually still like how it is like partially on the sleeves. I do like this design. Of course, I think it would actually be beautiful in a navy or cobalt blue. And I could definitely imagine wearing this one. The second one that I really liked, and this one I would cast on today, I think. It reminds me a little bit of the sweater I'm wearing currently, in that it is a mohair, I think it's a double mohair textured cardigan, but I really think it's very wearable. I really like it a lot. It has just a very subtle texture to it. The shaping is really pretty. It really is just a nice design. And I cannot remember for sure if it was two of the same color or if they held two different colored mohairs together. But I really thought that was a beautiful sweater. And I do think that you could wear it for a lot of the seasons. I like it a lot. I don't know that if you are in warmer climates or not, if a mohair would feel great to knit right now, but it could be something that you consider for the fall or even for next spring. Oh, and I'm sorry if I did not say what this cardigan was called. It's called Ice Cream by Maria Gomez, or Gomes. And then this is by Linda Linkovic, the Lumino. And this one I like a lot. It's very subtle. It is two separate colors. Again, it is in mohair, so you have to consider whether or not that's the right thing for you knitting right now. But it does have this really cool detail. I don't know, I'm guessing, so this is a guess because I didn't read the instructions yet, but I'm guessing that this stripe detail under the arm, and I believe at the raglan, is leaving one of the strands behind and just knitting in only the one color. Looks like the colors they chose are like maybe a gray and a neon yellow. And it just gives like this extra little detail that I really think is cool. You could go as high or low contrast as you want there. And I just think it's a very wearable, easy sweater. It is a raglan. I think it might be a compound raglan, and I believe that it is. I think I did look at this and it is. But it would be a fairly like knit and visit with people type of knit, because it isn't like an overly complicated sweater, but it definitely gives that wow factor with the raglan and those stripes on the side being different colors. The next pattern that I wanted to share was the Orma sweater by Marie Eve Wedge. It's another cardigan, and I really liked this a lot. I think, again, like this would be very wearable seasonally. You could wear it a lot of the different times of year. I really like this pretty simple pattern, stitch pattern that she uses. And I do like that the sleeves are like not overly tight. They look kind of blousier, I guess you could say. And this one is just, I think, a very wearable sweater. It is a drop sleeve, I believe. So I feel like a drop sleeve, especially on a cardigan, isn't the worst because you're already knitting flat, you're already doing knits and purls, and so it's not like a leap to be flat and doing a lot of purls. So that one to me is like not so complicated or too hard. I really think that it's a nice sweater. I also think it would look nice or could knit up very nicely in a non-wool and really have like this stitch pattern pop. So I really think that those are like my top three this time. There's other sweaters. There's a little like two little scarfettes, a nice sheep farm article, some nice recipes. I really do think that those couple of patterns that I pointed out are like super fun. I definitely could see myself knitting this right away. So I would recommend checking it out. Yeah, So I think too, like, guys, this in a dark color, like even a black would be really pretty. And I really think that this, I'm not a colorful person, we all know, but this ice cream cardigan, I do think if you could also do it in like a crazy bright color. Like I always see like bright mohairs that I would feel like, what would I do with that? But like, I'm telling you, something like this would be really pretty. So something to consider. Okay, now I teased you guys a little bit about yarn. And while I've been kind of still on the search for various yarns for bralettes, because I'm still, my brain is still like processing it, I saw on Instagram a store that's new to Portland, Oregon called Good Yarn. Yeah, okay. So their website is goodyarn.us, and they are very interesting because they do not sell yarn in skeins. They sell it by grams and on a cone. So I really I think cones are fun to knit from. I probably will actually wind these off and knit from a ball later, but this yarn that I came across is oh no, I'm not gonna be able to see, is a cotton and elastic blend. So this is a cotton and elastic blend, and it's 75% cotton, 25% elastic. So I thought this might be really nice to try out for the bralette after I've mastered the one. Being cotton, I think it will be really nice, and having the elastic bit to it, it really has a nice, like, I don't think I can show you because of the strand being so small, but it does have a nice like stretch to it, and it like returns, right? So I think it would be ideal for one of these bralettes, but I will swatch and let you know. Because it is more of a lace weight, I would probably hold 2 strands of this, just like in the pattern she has you hold 2 strands of the lunar, which is also a lace weight, and go from there. I think it could be really nice. So Good Yarn, they sell by grams, and the minimum is 50 grams, which I think is fairly reasonable. It can be very inexpensive. The price for this is 3 cents per 1 gram. So obviously $3 per 100 grams, etc. US dollars. I really, really can't say enough nice things about this shop. One cool thing, because I know that like sequin yarn is in and all of that, they have tons of sequin yarn on silk, on cotton, on wool. They have a lot of various mohairs and cashmere. Cashmere, guys, I'm this close to going back and buying a giant thing of cashmere to make a cashmere sweater. Very reasonable. So I bought this, the cotton elastic blend, for the purpose of swatching and kind of learning more about how I want to go about bralettes. I do think that for this one, I would wind it off of the cone and make a ball so that I can use the inside and outside to use this, but that's easy thing to do. The other things that I bought while I was there was this. It is I forget what it is. This is a merino silk. Okay, so I believe this is a merino silk wool boucle. It is so nice. I actually bought this to make the, and maybe it has polyamide, I think. I bought this to make the Kirby for my son, and then he was like, no, I want it to be the same as brother. So I have this pink now. I actually think it would be really cute for some mitts or a hat. So I will make use of this. I only got 50 grams of this one, so I don't have a ton, but I definitely think I could get little mitts out of it. It really is nice. It's a nice boucle. The other thing that I bought there are these 3 cones. So there is a designer, Loro Piana, an Italian designer, and this is actually yarn produced for them. And it is a cotton, it's 100% cotton yarn. And the yarn itself, I'm gonna just show you with one of them. The yarn itself is a like, almost, I would call it like a tape. I don't know if that's a thing. It's like a tape. And it's printed or woven together in some way. I don't know if you can tell. And it's really nice. It has a nice like give to it. And it also is like comfortable to knit with. If you've knit with a lot of cotton, you'll maybe find that it's not the most pleasant yarn to knit with. All of their cotton yarns were, to the touch, so nice. Like, I was shocked how like nice it felt, even though they're on cones. They're treated a lot of times when yarns come on cones to be easily used for like knitting machines, and so sometimes they have like a treatment or whatever on it, so when you wash it the yarn will bloom, let's say, for wool or whatever. This being cotton, I don't find like any, I don't know if it's treated or not. I guess I have to still block, but we'll find out. But why I bought this. So I bought this one and this one, which is like a black and white micro strap. Like, it's so cool, guys. I thought I would use these to make a bag. I have an idea for a knitted bag. So I swatched, like, who am I even? And then I bought a black because I probably will actually knit a top from this. It just has like such nice drape, and being black, like, I don't think I could go wrong. I could also make a bag as well, but I just decided that's what I'm doing with that. And honestly, I think this one was just over 200 grams. It was like $10 or $8. Like, very inexpensive yarn, being cotton. So I did a little swatch. Like, how cool is that? I love that it's just like random. I'm playing with it because this was, I think I did 55 stitches, but as you can imagine, as you change up your stitches, the pattern is going to look different, just like different pooling. So I think I'm gonna increase my stitch count. So I kind of stopped, but I really, it is so much fun to knit. Like, it's like knitting stripes or knitting with like speckled yarn. The like keep going to just see what it's gonna look like is there. So I had to share it with you. Right now they have this yarn, but it's not like a yarn store where they have, I don't know, Cascade 220 and they have whatever and you have to have it for the dye lot. So you want to buy as much for a project as you need, right? But they'll still have it in stock. Maybe the next time you go, they'll still be whatever in a different dye lot, but they still have it. This store, you can't, like, she can't always get the yarns. So if you see something that you like in her store, I highly recommend you purchase it and purchase enough for your project or any project you think you were going to do with it, because it just may not exist again. There was like cashmere with sequins, guys, like a lace cashmere with sequins. So the nice thing about that is you could totally do like a wool and then just hold it with a little bit of cashmere and sequins to like a project. It was really cool. Like, really, the yarns they have are so amazing. There was like tweed yarns. She had a lamb's wool, which when she said lamb's wool, I thought, oh, it's probably gonna be scratchy, but no. It was so nice. So I recommend going online. It may take you some time to kind of figure out how things are listed and how to purchase. Not that it's difficult on the website. You could always email them too. But what I would suggest doing is, if you find a yarn that you like, I would then figure out what yardage you would need or what weight it is. So for example, this one is a cotton yarn, 100% cotton yarn, and it happens to be, oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot see anything. Oh, I don't think it's on here. It's on the website. What does it say? It's 240 yards for 100 grams. So you can kind of estimate like what weight that would be. You have to do that with her yarns. And then some of them, because they are like machine knitting yarns, for us hand knitters, you are gonna probably want to hold several strands together if you want heavier weights, because there is a lot of lace. Not all by any means, but there is a lot of lace. So you would want to take that into consideration. You may need to be holding 4 strands. Or even if you could get away with holding 3 strands, you could only buy 1 cone and do a chained situation to hold the 3 strands together, which would be very easy. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. If you have questions about the 3 strands, message me. I will explain further. But you can basically, if I wanted to make this one thing 3 strands, you basically start like this, where you make 3 strands. And then as you're knitting, you pull the yarn through the little loop that you've made. And then you always have 3, you're chaining, you're creating 3 strands as you're going. So that is one way to look at it, if you will. Anyway, I'm very excited about this yarn. I really wanted to leave the store with so much more yarn, but as you guys know, like I have plenty of yarn, really need more yarn, like I need a hole in the head, but well priced for various cashmeres. It's like 15 cents a gram, so $15 per 100 grams of cashmere. We just don't see that, right? A cashmere silk blend, sorry. So one is $26 for 100 grams. That's very good for actual cashmere or 100% cashmere. So these are used by like top designer brands, and she is purchasing stock from their suppliers. So highly recommend, highly, highly, highly recommend. If you're in Portland, go in. If you are not from Portland, shop the website. I feel like it's quite intuitive. She gives like on the website how much it is per gram, how much it is per 100 grams. She'll put how much is in stock now. So the number that's in stock now is how many grams she has. So for example, one of the yarns is like 4,000 in stock now. That's 4,000 grams to kind of give you like an idea, but really amazing. Really, really amazing. Loved the store. Had a wonderful time speaking with the owner. Just cannot say more than enough nice things. Like I said, check it out. This is in no way sponsored, but I just was so excited to find another option to make maybe some fancier yarns more accessible. So check it out. You know I'll be grabbing some cashmere at some point. It's gonna happen. There was this beautiful red. I had to wait. Because it's summer. I have a hard time buying wool in summer. I'll be honest. It's harder. It's a lot harder for me. Okay. So other than that, I wanted to share with you guys, as you may know, I am a human design reader. I do one-on-one sessions. I have spots open for the rest of the month and into, I think, July. So check that out if you're interested in having a session with me. But one of the women that I studied with, she just published a book, and it's called How Do You Choose? And I encourage you to check it out if you are like human design curious, because it is a great system to make great choices for you, to pick things that are like going to just enhance your life, make life easier. But she has a great way of educating people about it, and her book is amazing. And this is to be used like you can look up your design online and immediately use the book. Like just look up things. It gives a lot of examples and it's just well written. I really respect her work, and so I highly recommend it if you are curious. Again, if you are wanting a session with me, please reach out. Or if you have any more questions about it, reach out. Other than that, I'm going to be working on this sweater, guys, and hopefully I might have one more cast on coming soon. Maybe one more. We'll see. I'll let you know. Okay. So until 2 weeks from now, if we're not yet knitting besties, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Please like this video and share it if you have a friend that you think would like it. And in 2 weeks from now, I will see you. Make some yarn magic. Bye!